I guess just develop the king side then, and queen can join later, maybe? Like, usually you want to get the queen into the game pretty soon, but... Oh, now that he allows me to take the center, I guess that I should. This position is very close to kind of the normal chess position. Well, he's going for a hedgehog type of setup, but I'm not convinced about that, I have to say. My queen protects this pawn as well, which is a nice little bonus. Okay, so he's intending bishop g4. Let's go bishop e2. Again, this pawn is defended by the queen. Okay, so not a hippo setup after all. But this position is shockingly normal. Just put the queen on c2, and there's knight somewhere else, and there's no way you could tell that this is freestyle. Okay, let's go h3, preparing bishop e3. Maybe I should have gone h3 a while ago. And then put the bishop on d3, maybe that was a bit more active. Maybe he wants b5, but kind of find it hard to believe. Oh, I can also just take the pawn twice. And then if he takes this, I take, and his rook is hanging at the end. Were it not for the fact that I'm terrible at drawing arrows, I don't think that one is the hardest to follow. Okay, that's a pawn sack. I don't believe you, Mr. Slobby. Yeah, so now at the very least I got this fork, which wins either the exchange or gives me a huge positional advantage. Have I got something better? I don't see it, so let's keep it simple. Yeah, so the option I was thinking of was bishop takes c3, where I thought I have a big positional advantage because I can sacrifice the knight, but maybe I can actually go protect the knight deep within enemy territory. Okay, let's give it a check. Bring the rook. Knight here, probably. Knight to c6, I didn't really anticipate that. I'm going here just to be able to go queen e7 after knight e5. Otherwise, I think this looks enticing. Eyeing the bishop over here. Bishop g4 was possible as well, but there's more than sufficient, of course. And now the queen enters. And he really does not have a lot of compensation for the exchange that I'm up. If he was to have any serious compensation, then that could only be true in a more closed position. In an open position like this, the rooks usually reign supreme. Yeah, I mean, bishop d6 was his, or bishop f6, queen c7. Bishop d6 was his only chance. Now, let's checkmate very soon. Yeah, okay. Relatively straightforward win in the first game. I'm trying to pull up the chat now. I don't even know how to use this. No, that didn't work. That was the wrong slash. Okay, let's focus on the game. um, these kind of Dutch structures are quite common actually in freestyle. I think in this particular case, I'm not unhappy to see e4 since I'm getting d5 quickly. What I can see is that the king seems fairly safe here in the beginning, and the pieces are generally well developed. So I don't think there's any particular reason for me to focus on castling here. I think my king is perfectly fine. So he really doesn't care about a3 coming, huh? I think this space is usually very, very useful, so I feel like it's often worth spending a couple tempi on. To quote AlphaZero. Yeah, I think I should go a3. And he is probably preparing to castle kingside at some point, but yeah, it seems to be a little while off. Still, queen e2, for instance, runs into knight b5, sorry, with forks galore. Knight b5 is still a tempting option, but it seems that bishop f5 maybe is a bit more flexible. c5 is also looming here. Yeah, c5 looks very, very good. dc5, then knight b5 is happening. And with the bishop moving back, he's not castling kingside anytime soon, and in order to castle queenside, he needs to develop the rook to move the rook, and that doesn't seem very good. Apart from that, I think my king, since I'm pushing this pawn, I'm the one who's attacking on the queen side. I'm not worried about pushing those pawns. So even though I'm not expressing this very eloquently, I think it's very, very clear that I have a huge advantage, and I'm probably crashing through right now. Knight d4, bishop d4, then rook c8. Everything is just very, very harmonious for black here. Knight e5, that's a good try to muddy the waters. Rook c8 looks like a good move. Honestly, I kind of missed something here. I was thinking I have takes and queen h6, but then queen f4 actually holds things together a little bit. You know what? I think I will go for it regardless. Unless I'm completely blind, I can go knight takes c3 here. This is, of course, completely unnecessary, but I still think it's really, really nice. The idea is, if he takes, well, we will see the idea. Yeah, so he made the right choice there. And yeah, my idea was if king e2, I was going to play queen takes h2 and then queen g2, which looked winning. But now I've, objectively speaking, made the win a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Yeah, let's go rook a7. It looks very ugly, but I just want to capture on a2 at any cost. Does it matter where I go with the knight? Probably not. Yeah, this was a bit silly, but you know, jeopardizing the win a little bit in search of brilliance, but very interesting position. Once again, some pieces look familiar. King and queen have switched places, which we always love to see. Okay, that's normal, but he's giving me a lot of space. I'm not looking at chat regardless, so it doesn't really matter, but this is of course not ideal. At least my opponent is catching up with me on time. I don't love my position, but I am grabbing some space, and then he has to find a foothold somehow. Yeah, this was an option, but I'm not sure I like this one at all for black. What's the idea here? This does not seem right for black to me at all. Bishop g7 back? d4, maybe b6 is happening. Then knight g5, is f6 a problem there? Nah, we'll see. Yeah, I was expecting that. I am attracted to knight g5 and then f6, knight h7, rook f7, e5. Maybe it's just a bit too much. Let's just keep it simple. f6, knight d3, castling, and should be alright. Yeah, queen e6 is useful, but I want to play b3 regardless, developing this bishop, so I'm not worried about that. I think bishop h6 maybe has to be played here. No, bishop h6, queen h4 is no good, since this knight is pinned. No, I think I just castle, and my development looks very, very good here. Let's move out of that potential pin. Now c4, I can go knight f4 without being bothered by bishop h6 immediately. I'm not sure about this for him. So I went gf, opening up for the bishop eventually. He does get some squares for his pieces, but overall I got a nice bishop. Maybe I haven't made the most of this. Like, he does have some decent squares for his knights now, but it seems a bishop pair and relatively well placed pieces. I have to be much better. Oh, knight a6 is a threat here as well, trapping this poor little rook. Well, that's a fork. Kind of accelerating that whole idea. Eyeing this pawn. I don't know. I don't know if it's good, but I feel like I kind of have to go for it. It just looks so enticing. Knight d6, e d6, and I'm threatening 3 of his pieces, which seems to be too much to handle. Okay. Nice. 2 games, 2 queen sacks. How's that for content, huh? This is fantastic content. Mods. At Ella Carlsen, you're a mod, by the way, as well. So if you're in the chat, E3 by Gukesh, huh? Okay. Don't know if that was a mouse slip. G6 was dumb. I think he can go G4 now, gain some space. F4 is sensible as well. Let's go D5. G4, C6. It's a strange position. Once again, king is in the center, but on the wrong square. I think I should play E5 while I can. A knight cannot attack it, and if D4, queen E7, I'm getting knight E6 and castling, potentially. And the pieces over here are kind of the same as they are in regular chess. So I should have fairly harmonious development. I can wait to castle, of course. He may have some ideas like knight G3, knight F5. And E4, at the very least I can go knight D4 and trade, yeah. I don't know. Bishop D4 is also possible. Then he can sack the exchange. Do I believe in that? Not really. Well, I may not believe in it, but he goes for it. Huh. Maybe it's not bad. Is queen h4 check? Yeah, This is a bit more dangerous than I thought at first. It is actually really dangerous. Queen e7 loses to bishop g5. I have to go f6 maybe? My worry is that if he just takes this pawn, I cannot really attack his queen effectively. Yeah, it's very logical. I mean, I can castle. I guess I should. Looks dangerous. Very dangerous. But I think I'm generally happy to get that move in. And there are ideas of queen takes a2 as well. Uh, 95. Boy, is that complicated. Rook d6. Rook d6 and queen a2. No, that doesn't seem that good. Oh boy, yeah, this is too difficult to play, unfortunately. Yeah. Maybe my position was just bad here. Nah, I gotta try and take on g4. My king is probably gonna have to go for a walk at some point here. Yeah, that was a huge blunder by him. Maybe not a huge blunder, but certainly a blunder. Just got no time. Yeah. I ain't got no time. I got no development. Okay, I'll go here. I don't see a quick knockout. I don't have any time. Oh, there's meat. Did I? Yeah, whatever. uh, every day I'm hustling. Really I'm getting all the Indian kids in this tournament. I played, who did I play last time? I played Prague. Then I played a few others like Mitrava. Obviously, I got some OGs as well, like Adeban. Um, I think there were even a couple of others that I cannot immediately recall. Um, but of course, Arjun is currently maybe the best of them all, at least at this format. So, much like in one of my previous games, if he allows me to take the center, I will. And the pieces seem fairly normally placed, so... Okay, I think his idea is to go c4, he wants to go c5. And then if I take, he's got bishop d5 with this little pin here. That may not be bad. That could be an interesting pawn sack. But do I really want it? Interesting. Otherwise, how do I hold the center? Knight e3 would be desirable, but that is not really an option. Okay, let's go knight c3. Looks strange, but at least c5 runs into knight b5 now. And I'm protecting e4. Yeah. This is very logical, of course. Should I go knight e3 or knight g3? Let's go to e3. I'm not sure that's all that great, but... I mean, for the moment, like, this bishop is a bit dumb in the corner, and this bishop is a little bit in the way, but I don't see, like, amazing dynamic potential for him here. So I think I should be doing alright. I think I'll just castle. You know, I'm usually the one talking about the early h4, h5, h4, or a5, a4, but I think in this position it's alright to allow it. Yes, you can go bishop g5, take some control over some squares, but I don't think I'm too bothered by it. Let's go b3. Develop this bishop. Knight f4. Probably want bishop f3. Knight c6. I can probably go knight e2. Also queen d2, by the way. Maybe queen d2 is more. Okay, I got his beat up. That's the main issue here. Now d5 is a positional threat, I think. I think I'm just gonna go d5. It looks very enticing. Let's trade. And bolster the center. And I think for now, my bishop is looking a lot happier than his. So he's trying to bring the queen into the game, which is very sensible, I have to say. Here, this was a good maneuver by him. Maybe I don't have much of an advantage. Maybe I have something. I want to go here with the knight. Yeah, not now. Of course. Let's move the king. He does have a bit of a bind, which is over the dark squares, which is a bit annoying. Oh, this looks so dangerous for him, though. Queen d4 maybe, and then c5 or b4. Okay, I'm allowing this, but b4 seems to be coming with some force. Don't think I'm overly concerned about this. Unless I'm missing some big mating idea he has, then yeah, I think I'm bringing my pieces over to the queen side now, and strategically he's in a lot of trouble. He's about to lose on time there. Rook b1, I think. I missed this. Rook a4 just decides it on the spot. I got too many pieces. Way too many pieces. Okay. I feel like Chess.com they probably are just trolling us. Because they're giving us normal starting positions, except for like very small details. Okay, I feel like Delyakin may not be that bad here, since I get a quick g6 attacking. Of course, g3 attacks my knight, but still, I get castles, d6. Shouldn't be that bad. d4. Oh, g6 allows bishop h6. There's maybe not ideal. Let's go here then. I could go for bishop h3 myself, but didn't seem that great. C d6, idea is d5, knight b4, which seems reasonable. Maybe this is a bit annoying. Don't want to go a5. Let's play d5 then. a5, knight c4. Is a very normal position, but at the same time a bit of a strange position. Should I go here? Bishop g4. The problem is that he's gonna go c3. He might get like a quick bishop g2 and h3, kicking my bishop. Okay, so now that knight c4 is no longer really an option. I guess I should go here. And then knight d6. I'm allowing a6, but I think I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, he wants knight e5. Let's go g6. Knight e5, bishop h3. Maybe he wants to sack the exchange, but doesn't look convincing to me. Okay. Speaking of not convincing, this does not look convincing to me either. Maybe rook b8. Take the rook next. I don't see it. Bishop g2 is possible, but at the very least I can take, or I'm going to take, and then I can either go bishop takes e5, which seems reasonable, but also rook b7. Rook b7, f4. Let's take this one. Queen b6. I should have some advantage. Bishop b3, there's d4. I think I want to... Maybe I don't want to trade, actually. Because I allow knight c5 to d3. So I'll go here. And then maybe just h5. Making sure I don't have any back rank issues. Did I allow knight a5? I probably did. That was unnecessary. I'm still better though. Maybe even much better. With the knight coming here. I can rook and a pawn. Yeah, typically for Maxim he tries to bail out in the endgame, but it looks very, very difficult for white here. Yeah, he wants to trade a bit. I think I'll go g5. Yes, my pawn structure is not as elastic now, but I get to stabilize everything, which I think is quite important too. Yeah, knight a2 seems to pretty much wrap it up. Knight c3. I gotta be a tiny bit careful with his rooks coming for the counterattack. e3. I went knight c3. Sorry. Maybe I made it a little bit harder for me than I needed to. No, okay. Yeah, ef2 was winning. I was about to play rook f2, which was stupid, but actually I kind of just want kingside development here. Like I was going to do in one of the other games, but then I kind of aborted the mission. I'm not sure why he traded there. I guess it's reasonable. Yeah. So he's allowing b4, but I'm not sure that's really all that much to jump in the roof for, as we say in Norwegian. Let's do it. I think he should take with the knight, probably. No, he takes with the king. BC5, BC. Yeah, he's got a very reasonable position here. But I don't think I'm doing that badly. Once he goes e6, my queen can go over here. Knight b3, is that a move? I'm allowing c4. I don't want to go queen a1, allow knight d4. Let's go here then. After queen takes c4, my pawn structure is a little bit ugly for now, but I don't believe it's a massive issue. I can go bishop f1 and then c4 if I want. I'll go here. Knight d4 I was worried about for a second, but I think I got rook d4. No. He's not winning a pawn there, but it's a position which I probably cannot win. But I don't see what else to do. Oh, you can go dc4. I completely missed that. It's kind of a big detail. He chose not to. Yeah, this is hard, very, very hard for me to win, but I don't think he has realistic winning chances either. I'm just gonna put on the sweater. It's a bit cold. There was also bishop h3 there, but I feel like that was not too convincing. I'm gonna trade, and then I don't have time to bring my king in. Okay. That's a bit of a cross in the bill. Yeah. Maybe I should just go here, actually. Yeah, I'll just do this. It does give up the pawn, like I didn't have to give up the pawn, but even though this is a favorable endgame for him, I think it's very hard to win. d4, I think I just take it. Also d4 king f3 was perfectly fine. Oh, this is what he wanted. I lost a similar endgame to this to Wang Hao once in Norway Chess 2013, so I'm quite aware that it's at the very least not super easy to draw. Oh, that was a fucking mouse slip. I wanted rook d8. Now I'm probably lost. Yeah, that was just a mouse slip. Yeah, now I'm just lost. Yeah, I cannot even take. Yeah, just d2 wins. Okay. That's really annoying, actually. Okay. C5 looks interesting at the very least. Yeah, d5 is logical. I wanted to play b5 here. Try and combat his space somehow. It's maybe not a good sign that I'm looking at f5. f5, knight c3. There's bishop e5. It's crazy complicated. f6, e4, e6, or e6, e4, f6, knight c3. Let's go f5. It's very risky, but I think it could have its benefits. I think it's a bit of a recurring theme, by the way, in this freestyle tournaments that I play a little bit too ambitiously with the black pieces, or maybe way too ambitiously is more appropriate. Okay, this one I was not worried about, really. Maybe I should have been. Guess I'll go here. Huh. It's a funny line. Bishop f7, knight f5, knight e6, queen takes g7. To continue the theme of queen sacs. I should activate my queen, I think. I don't love the idea of giving up this bishop, but it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, but no. That's annoying. I cannot develop now, and bishop takes g2. Doesn't work. Okay. Queen takes g7, rook g8 still seems alright for me. b4 is always d5. I don't see the big idea there. Fun position. Okay. Now at least chances of me losing this quickly seem to have been diminished unless I'm running into this. Queen a5, a6. No, I still got ideas there. This is a bit annoying. Maybe a lot annoying. If I can develop, I am doing very well here. But there is a chance that I don't ever get to develop my pieces here. Well, that's surprising. Castle. Can also just go knight c6, I believe. If he doesn't trade, then I got bishop e5 maybe. Yeah, h4 was, I think, too much. Let's put the knight in the center. I think he's definitely lost the thread of this game. What is this? Isn't there knight f3? What am I missing? Yeah, and this is a try, but it's far from sufficient. No! What is going on with this mouse? That was bishop h5, of course. Oh my god. Am I really losing another game to a mouse slip? It's just literally clicking. Rook f4, it's game over. Oh my god. Really? Really? It just actually fucking touched the mic and clicked. Okay, let's go f4. Always attack something on the first move when you can. So I can grab a pawn. Is it any good? I don't know. I'm kind of curious to find out. I'm guessing b6 is the idea. My idea was to go b3. And then after bishop b7, I make a shameful retreat with my queen. And you may say that I've captured a meaningless pawn. Well, it's still a pawn. You may say that I've lost a lot of time in the opening and these are not good habits. You'd also be correct. I'm kind of tempted to take this pawn. I mean, now that I've started snagging pawns in enemy territory, might as well continue. Knight d6 seems logical here. Last Friday, I actually got my queen trapped against Arvind in a somewhat similar situation, so I gotta be a tad careful about that. I think for now it's okay. I am preparing kingside castles here. Queen g5 is a move after knight g6. It's only one square, but that's probably enough. I gotta say, my queen is going on quite the journey here. Oh, and I blundered. Always happening at the end. I think I'm having fun, and then it turns out my opponent is having fun at my expense. But all is not completely hopeless. Maybe it is quite bad. I was hoping for c3, but he could just take it and this knight is hanging. Go g3 then. Yeah. That's the problem with playing complicated chess like this. That it's very easy to blunder. Just trying to hold on to this knight. But doesn't look great. Knight e6, but I got b4. I got some hopes here. Rook b5, the knight is trapped. Knight d4, e3. That's a very good move, unfortunately. Yeah, this is very bad. Oh, he moved. I thought he was going to go rook c8 and sack. Well, that was unexpected. We got some fighting chances here. Oh, I moved my rook. I thought I was castling in all these lines, but I captured his bishop. I'm expecting to win games against good grandmasters, and I don't even know the rules. How am I expected to castle if I don't know how it works? This play does not feel convincing here. Okay. Seems to be a reasonable practical chance. He's definitely making a total mess out of this. Still kind of winning. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see that. He should win now, of course. Well, maybe not that easy. Okay, looks like we're saving it. I cannot figure out if knight c5 draws or not. No, it draws for sure. I mean, this is a bit of a joke. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Sure. Okay. Just for fun. Looks like it's gonna be a quite strategical game. I got c5 as an option. b5 as well. Trying to play a little bit of a modern setup, like g6, d6, knight d7. It seems quite harmonious to me. So g6 attacks d4. I'm guessing b3. Your d6 already hinting at c5. Oh, that's very aggressive. I'm not sure I like that at all for him. I don't see how he's attacking me on the king side here. Guess I'll trade. Knight c6. Already this pawn is really tender. Knight b6. He has some ideas of going knight h5 at some point. But it feels like a massive stretch. Seems that this bishop is quite bad in the corner, so I think strategically speaking, I want to trade those bishops. I feel like he's really pushing his luck a lot here. I think too much. Yeah, it's just a clean win of a knight. Yeah. You know, the good stuff. Okay. Pawn move diagonally 2 squares ahead of a diagonal pawn move from the queen. That is usually not a terrible idea at the first move in freestyle. So I'm just going by general principles. And I will try, even though I won the last game very quickly, it needs to be said, I will try not to win this game super, super quickly. Because that seems to lead me into trouble most of the time. And my opponent is streaming, so that's always nice to see. Knight g6 is a surprising move to me. And I'm like a cat chasing lasers here. I see a knight on g6 and my h-pawn just has to get moving to attack that one. This is maybe too weakening, but yeah, it's probably too weakening. But kind of like the space. Probably want to bring the bishop out here and eventually, you know, bishop c2, knight f3, knight g3, or knight e3, bishop h2, then I can castle. So there is a mission. It's not mission probable, but it's not mission impossible either. Yeah. I mean, that was not ideal to allow that, but I am gaining a lot of space here. So I'm not sure I'm even too concerned about dropping this pawn. So his idea there, obviously, was to play the move e4 and then unlock a very nasty attack on my queen. There's b5. The knights are coming at me from all sides right now. I don't like this. Okay, I think I should go c5. Taking away the pressure on this square. And I am allowing some other stuff like knight e3, but I am focusing on development. Yes, you can give a check, but I move the king and ask him what the big deal is. I really want to do something tactical. Like, his queen on a8 is completely out of the game. Maybe I gotta play sensibly. Yeah, maybe this is just too ambitious. Bishop h7, d3. Also b6, but still d3. Protecting this pawn. Very strange position. I may be alright, I may be lost. It's really hard for me to say. Yeah, knight e5, knight d3 is a bit of a problem. That f3, even bishop 8 takes e4 wins. So I gotta be a bit careful. Oh, I'm short of time. Oh, why am I pre-moving? There's also this. That doesn't quite seem to work though. So you want to castle now? It's a nice move. I'm obviously way too short of time. It's not the only problem here. But it is a big one. I mean, I talked about eyesores earlier, and that queen on a1 really is another one. I don't quite see how this loses, so I guess I'll just have to go for it. Oh, knight g2 wins. He doesn't see it. Maybe he's gonna panic. I'm fine now. Where do I go from here? Oh, that's a terrible move. That probably loses. Maybe I'm gonna win. Okay, nice turnaround. Second really fine hustle win of the day. There probably was some kind of mate. I'm really curious as to what was going on early in that game. F3. So simple. Then bishop d4. Yeah, e4. Yeah, apparently c5 was... There's just poor understanding. Yeah. He played this well. Yeah, this is lovely, of course. This phase he did really well. Yeah, knight g2. I spotted that after a while, but not immediately. Now queen b5, I didn't even see that square. He evidently didn't either. I missed knight g2 again. But we were so short of time here that it wasn't really... Oh, rook c2 wins. Or is good. Now it's actually not lost, yeah. Now I'm winning. That was mate. Cool. Oh, so Bortnik is losing to Lazovic. Gonna have just a massive tie of people at 9 out of 11. Oh, and yeah, unfortunately for me, every game at the top there was decided, which cost me a couple places, but it was okay. I think considering the couple of games that I hustled in, like this, I mean, obviously, you know, 9.5 happens without one mouse slip, but then other games might go differently. But I think it was an interesting tournament. I played a lot of really, really good players. My score, 8.5, like, it's not terrible. It's, by the way, extremely rare that you share first with 9 out of 11. Like, that doesn't really happen. It is partly because, of course, this is a slightly smaller tournament compared to Title Tuesday. Like, there are fewer players. But, yeah, 5 players shared on 9 out of 11. It's really, really tough. Okay. Well, with that, I think we are heading off very soon. Really, I think it was a really, really fun tournament, as I said. Not unhappy about my games at all, especially since I was not feeling fantastic, but it's quite alright. So I think what we should do now is raid. And who are we raiding today? I'm already preparing /raid. Who are we raiding? Buettner. I feel like we usually raid Buettner. For winning? Why not? There we go. Or maybe we raid... that's okay. Well, see you later. Have a fabulous weekend wherever you are. And I'm gonna get some food, as usual. Bye.